What is going on with Melody Miles and Riley Saurage? This whole story is wild. Solely for educational purposes, no hate to anyone involved. Don't forget to check me out on all my socials at Anna Reports News. Both Melody and Riley are influencers. They do lifestyle content, everyday content, and recently they've made videos about each other and people are confused, so let me explain. A little background is needed though. So this is Riley Saurage. She used to date Nick Wilbur. They were on again, off again, and it was a pretty public relationship. This is Melody Miles. Riley claims that they were friends, Melody claims that they were not friends, but even if Melody's right and then they weren't friends, Melody used to date Kale Saurage, which if you can't tell by their last names, this is the brother of Riley Saurage. Recently, Melody Miles and Nick Wilbur announced after only dating for a short period of time that they are engaged and they're pregnant. How did the siblings' exes get together? And how does everyone feel about it? Honestly, this is kind of how it all started. When people noticed their engagement and their pregnancy announcement, people reached out to Riley and asked her what happened. She posted some videos basically saying that she was moving on in the new year and that kind of everything happens for a reason, even if it's really wrong. She didn't tell the full story until this video. In this video, she did the put a finger down trend and started off the story by taking us back in time. So Riley was living in LA. She didn't have many friends and wanted to make friends, and one of her other friends reached out to her and said, "Hey, I'm going to hang out with Melody. Do you want to come along?" Riley decided to go, and they went to Melrose Trading Park and had a good time and did just girly things. While they were hanging out, Riley talked about two guys. Guy number one was Nick Wilbur. She said she told Mel about the tea and explained that they were in an on and off again relationship for 2 years, that it was kind of toxic, and at the time of them hanging out, they were off. And according to Riley, Mel was totally engaged in the conversation and even pointed out the fact that the guy she was dating at the time had the same name as Nick. But they were off at this point, so this brings us to guy number two. Riley said she was just hanging out with this guy, but she mentioned it. Riley says after hanging out with Melody, she reached out over text to ask for her Venmo because she wanted to send her some gas since Melody had driven everywhere. Melody apparently used this opportunity to ask her about social media and content creation, and Riley decided to give her some advice saying, go to my page, look at my stuff, see what's doing well, and try that. I don't know if they ever hung out after this. It doesn't seem so according to Melody, but Riley might have a different story. She then moves on to her moving to Arizona. It didn't end up working out with the second guy, and she gets back with Nick. At some point at this time, she gets a text from second guy saying, guess who I'm hanging out with? Melody. And she thought that was a little weird. So she also went to her social media and noticed, according to her, that Melody had copied word for word videos from Riley using the same products. Because she was hanging out with the guy that Riley used to talk to, and because she allegedly copied Riley's social media, Riley decided to unfollow her on social media. She also points out that she told Nick about all of this. She complained to him. He was her boyfriend at the time, so she was just like voicing her frustrations. Soon after this, her and Nick break up. Nick is in his last year of college and claims that he wants to have